Welcome to the Loaded Cannon. I wasn't at the game today. I'm going to get this one out of the way first before I start talking about the game. I wasn't at the game today because I had one of those decisions to make where what's more important to me is at Arsenal and a must-win home game because they're all must-wins already if we want to get this title, or to mark the 1 year, I can't even call it an anniversary, the 1 year sort of sadness that is this genocidal, evil, terrorist assault on Palestine from the terror state that is Israel. And there was only ever going to be one outcome in that one. As much as I love Arsenal and it's important to me when it comes to marching on the streets of London to show our disgust, our collective disgust at what's going on in the world versus going to an Arsenal game, well, listen, it has to be Palestine all day, every day. And I almost feel a bit embarrassed talking about it like it's a sacrifice. I've sacrificed nothing by not going to a game. I wish I could do more. I wish this horrible government, these horrible politicians that we have in this country would do more to stop the bloodshed in so many countries now that Israel are expanding their war, their bloodlust, their lust for war across so much of the Middle East. Solidarity with all the Palestinians out there that are still struggling and suffering as Israel just continues to bombard, bombs down on children, women, men, everyone and anyone in any location, hospitals, schools. The amount of evil that we've seen over the last year is unimaginable, absolutely unimaginable. And until we hit the root cause of the issue, which is their illegal occupation, their illegal settlements, their apartheid system, unless we touch all of those root causes and deal with them, this will never ever stop and there will never ever be peace. There can never ever be peace on stolen land. So Palestine, always the most important thing. Glad I've got that one out of the way. Drop a like on this video if you are pro-Palestine. Put something in the comments, show it some love as well. And let people know that as much as they might say, oh, don't bring it into football, if you want to hear Palestine at the forefront of every single conversation, be it football or anything else, do that for me. Now, on to the game. Man, Arsenal, what's up with us these days? Other than Champions League, where we're keeping clean sheets, we're making life hard for ourselves in the league. In the last 5 Premier League games, we've only kept 1 clean sheet, and that was against, like a team that it would be embarrassing to concede against anyway, in Tottenham Hotspur. Kidding, obviously that was a good clean sheet away from home, but 1 clean sheet in 5. We're not that watertight defence that we used to be. I don't know what it is that's not quite working. Maybe there's been some sort of like defensive movements recently with Ben White being injured, etc. But even then, conceding 2 at home to Leicester, 1 at home to Southampton today. These are 2 teams where I was looking at these on paper thinking, that's it, we should be winning 2-0 on both of those. But it didn't go our way. And Southampton gave us a scare, they really did. First half, Arsenal were awful. Absolutely awful. We didn't even have a shot on target until the very, very last part of that half. It was just a really uninspiring half. And, with Martin Odegaard's injury, when he got injured, I thought to myself, we can sort of handle a Declan Rice injury because we've got Partey, we've got Jorginho. We can handle a injury up front because we've got Jesus, we've got Trossard, we've got Havertz. But the one player that I think we really cannot replace in this team is Martin Odegaard. But since he's been injured, Bukayo Saka has sort of proved me wrong because he's sacrificed a little bit of his own game and he's playing some of that playmaker role where he's getting on the ball so much. He's almost doing the Martin Odegaard job. And today, 2 assists and a goal. Bukayo Saka, how do you stop the guy? I'm asking the question, I hope there's never an answer found for it as long as he's playing for Arsenal and God forbid he ever leaves. But he's just unstoppable. Such an effective player, such an intelligent player. I absolutely am just in awe of his transition from Hale End prospect to the first team and has made it look so easy. 49 goals for Arsenal now. And listen, hopefully we'll get his 50th in the next game as well. But he's just one hell of a player, isn't he? He just manages to adapt his game so well. Even when people double up on him, he still manages to be effective. You saw the assist today. None of it is by chance. The second assist, he gets that ball. People are sort of expecting a shot, but you know, his teammates come alive when he's got the ball. Martinelli was absolutely ready to get that at the far post. Saka looks up, picks him out with a peach of a delivery. And then, you know, Saka getting his goal as well. A bit unfortunate how it broke to him, but the finish, he's a killer. Left foot assist, right foot goal. Bukayo Saka, man of the match for me today. And that's high praise because Kai Havertz was absolutely fantastic. And I cannot believe this is the Kai Havertz that, you know, I really thought he would flop at Arsenal. I genuinely could not believe how much money we spent for him. And when the first 10 games went by and he did nothing, and I remember he was given a penalty away from home. Was it Bournemouth away? I can't remember. But it was almost like sort of a bit embarrassing and he didn't even want to celebrate, but it's almost what he needed to get him started. Well, what a good decision that was to give him that penalty, because since then he hasn't looked back. Clinical with his finish today, and that's when we needed it. We needed to hit back and respond to Southampton so that they didn't frustrate us. They didn't have an opportunity to start employing all of the dark arts that we've heard about so much recently. But brilliant from Kai Havertz as well. You know, Liverpool won the game in the afternoon slot, and then Man City were playing at the same time as us as well, and they won. And look, so I know it's just early in the season, but we have to take every single game as a must win, because Liverpool and Man City, especially Man City, because with Liverpool, we're still not 100% sure exactly what they're going to be like when the pressure hits with Arne Slot, you know, a new manager. But we know what Man City are going to do, and they're just going to carry on going and going and going. And we have to make sure that every game is treated as a must win, because ultimately, even if they drop points now, we know at some point we're going to drop points, and we need to build up that cushion. And if we didn't win today, as you know, at home against Southampton, it would be an awful game to sort of miss out on. It was nice to see Aaron Ramsdale come back and get a good reception. Unlucky for him with all of the goals. I mean, what can you do? The finish from Havertz, absolutely brilliant. Martinelli was 1 yard away from him, and then the final goal, Saka, is a defensive mistake, and brilliant finish from Saka. Equally, Raya, I don't think you can really blame him for the goal that we conceded. It was a really tidy finish in that far corner. But it was sort of the Raya-Ramsdale battle today, and I actually felt like none of them came out, you know, looking bad or anything. So Arsenal, thankfully, we got the job done. You know, if we keep on plugging away, Man City without Rodri are absolutely not the same. Conceding 2 goals at home to Fulham and Adama Traore, one of my favourite players to watch in the entire league, but you know, he really should have gotten the score sheet today, and it could have been a very different game. Very frustrated because I really thought, you know, as that game was unfolding, that potentially they could drop points. And you look at that game and they probably should have dropped points, but they got away with it. Arsenal, I feel like we deserved the win today. We dominated, but we do need to get a bit better at the back and improve. Anyway, that's it. I'm out. I'll catch you next time. Free Palestine. Take care.